Hey, how's it going, fight fans? Welcome to Mind for Combat. If you're new to the channel, my name's Rohan, and in this video I'll be doing a detailed breakdown of why Deontay Wilder will destroy Tyson Fury in their Trilogy fight. Now, before you get up in arms and bring out your pitchforks, I'll be doing a series on this fight. I'll be doing a video on why Tyson Fury will destroy Deontay Wilder in their Trilogy fight. And finally, in the lead up to the fight, I'll be doing a preview of how I see this fight going. If you're interested, I have broken down both the previous fights when they were coming up on this channel and done breakdowns and predictions on both of those fights, so you can watch them and get more of an insight in how I actually feel about this fight. But anyways, this is a video that I'm looking forward to making. It should be fun. So, reason one why I think Deontay Wilder will destroy Tyson Fury. He has an actual true understanding of what awaits him. So, leading into the first fight, he obviously had his preconceived notions of his abilities and what he can do against Tyson Fury. But the version of Tyson Fury that he was fighting was a greatly diminished Tyson Fury. He was fighting a Tyson Fury that had fought twice against subpar competition over a period of 3 years, where he had ballooned up 10 stone, went on a cocaine binge, had some serious mental health issues, and then dropped that weight down and come into it. So the first version he fought of Tyson Fury wasn't realistic. The second version of Tyson Fury is more realistic or comparable to the version that he'll be getting in this trilogy, not the first. And he went into the second one with no understanding of what actually awaited him. So maybe there was some lack in his prep because he didn't prepare for the correct fighter. This is the correct fighter that he'll be fighting now. So coming into the trilogy fight, Deontay Wilder actually has an understanding of who he is preparing for and what he'll be waiting to face. He'll understand how big he is, how strong he is, what he can do, his abilities, his movement. He's faced Tyson Fury moving at his best. He's faced Tyson Fury moving forward. He's faced Tyson Fury putting it on him, putting pressure on him. He knows what to expect, and at this point, there is no unknown for Tyson Fury. He knows that. With Deontay Wilder, there's also always that little bit of an unknown. You know, he's got a bit of an awkward style. It's kind of unassuming, his style, and he's learning still the game, so it's kind of hard. But with Tyson Fury, he hasn't known. Coming into this fight, he will know, and that's going to be an advantage that he's going to enjoy coming into this fight. The second point is that he's coming off his first loss. Now, you may be thinking to me, well, how is that going to help him destroy him? Well, in the sport of boxing, while losses are a taboo in mixed martial arts, losses are seen as a good thing. They're a learning experience. You learn from them, you get better, you improve, you move on. You learn more from your losses than you ever do from a victory. And for Deontay Wilder, this is the first time he truly lost. Now, we can talk about how he handled the loss, but that's not what this video is about. He obviously handled it poorly, came out with a lot of excuses. But what is obvious to me is that he took some time away. He secluded himself. He built a ranch, a facility dedicated to preparing for the trilogy. He changed up his training staff. He actually started to implement new skills into it. He's going to learn from the loss. So this being his first ever loss, he has a true understanding of what is going to take in there. It was the first time he's been in there with a fighter who he clipped many times and didn't go down, with a fighter who weren't scared of his power, with a fighter that was coming forward to put Deontay Wilder out. This is going to be the first time he's coming back off a loss, and he's going to have an understanding of what it is. Now, Tyson Fury has been the toughest opponent he's had in his career by far. Obviously, the first fight was a draw. The second fight he lost. This coming into this fight is very important to note how this one goes. So yeah, it being that he's coming off a loss is a factor that was actually work in his favor. That leads on to the third point nicely, and I've kind of touched on it already, is that he's changed things up. Everything's changed up. He's training with Malik Scott now. Malik Scott is obviously a veteran of the boxing game. I won't say he was a true top tier fighter, but he's a veteran of the boxing game. And a guy that understands Deontay Wilder and understands his limitations, in that he fought Deontay Wilder, prepared for Deontay Wilder. They're actually good friends. Outside of it, Deontay Wilder said him and his families, they've eaten together, they've hung together, they know each other. So for Malik Scott to be taking on Deontay Wilder, stepping in from Mark Brennan, this is a big deal in my opinion, and I think one of the small clips that we've seen of Deontay Wilder's training, it's obvious that he's changed some things up. Things are a bit different now. Deontay Wilder's putting in work, and he's trying to become a different fighter to prepare for the trilogy fight for Tyson Fury, and that's very, very important. If he doesn't do it, it will impact him. So him changing things up was quintessential to him being able to have success in this fight. Now, that's a very, very important thing to remember. Finally, well, not finally, and moving on, Fury will underestimate Wilder, and that's going to be a major, major factor coming into this fight. Tyson Fury will think that he can go in and beat down Deontay Wilder, much like Tyson Fury was probably underestimated by Deontay Wilder in the first fight. This time, Tyson Fury will probably be underestimating Deontay Wilder coming into this fight, because he's going to be thinking to himself, well, look how easily I beat him in the second fight, beat him down, all them excuses. This is not a guy that's on my level. I'm going to easily dominate him. I'm going to beat him easily. That's not necessarily going to be the case. It's going to be a tough fight. It's not going to be so simple or straightforward, but it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Really, really interested in seeing this fight. Can't wait to see it. And I'm really interested to see how Tyson Fury comes and prepares for this, all mentally. Now, another factor that's going to be very, very important in this fight, and it's going to be probably one of the most pivotal factors into the whole fight, as always with Deontay Wilder, is his punching power. Deontay Wilder punches so hard at the blink of an eye, he can just put Tyson Fury out. We still are in the first fight that Tyson Fury almost practically did get knocked out by Deontay Wilder in the first fight in round 12. He got dropped by him in round 9. Deontay Wilder can hurt Tyson Fury. Now, I don't know what was going on with Deontay Wilder in the lead up to the second fight. He obviously had some excuses, injuries, worn out because of the costume, etc., etc. But it's going to be very interesting to see how Deontay Wilder handles that and comes in, and if he can land that power shot. That power shot is the all-encompassing equalizer, that he doesn't need to be as skillful as Tyson Fury. He just needs to connect once. He's got a great chin, he's very durable, he's got a great heart, and mentally he's in a good place, it seems. And with him, he carries that power to change things at a blink. Tyson Fury, if he underestimates him, like I said, Deontay Wilder changing things up, being a different fighter. Tyson Fury doesn't know what to expect. Deontay Wilder learning from his first loss. Deontay Wilder being in a good place mentally, coming into this fight prepared, refreshed, learning from those mistakes, and then having the power to clip it all off. Deontay Wilder can get this one done. Now, anyways, why don't you lot comment below? Let me know how you see this fight going. Subscribe to the channel. Check out my video when I do why Tyson Fury destroys Deontay Wilder. That fight, that's going to be a video that I'm looking forward to. I'll do a breakdown of it. If you're new to the channel, remember to like, subscribe, share the video, help me grow the platform. Been grinding on this film for a long time now, and I think it's time I started to get some support or some recognition for all my work. But anyways, thank you for watching. I'm Rohan, and this is Mindful Combat.